I'd like to call the May 6th Utility Advisory Commission meeting to order. Everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First off, we'd like to take some time for any public comment, if anyone would like to come forward. No public comments, so we'll be moving on to the consent agenda.
Call for any comment.
Okay. So is there any comments or changes desired from the consent agenda? Do I have a motion?
A motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion, Commissioner Coleman, second, Commissioner Williams. So moving on.
Call for a
I'd
vote.
like to call for a vote.
Aye.
Everyone say aye.
Aye.
Great. So consent agenda is approved. For new business, we have a consideration for a recommendation to City Council for the Utilities Department Line Maintenance Division to purchase a quick valve startup kit and sleeves from Olathe Wind Water for the amount of $49,000. Gons, will you turn the time over to you?
Good evening, Chairman, Commission. Ted Maines, he's the line maintenance superintendent. He will do the presentation and show some pictures so you can have a better understanding what an inserted valve is.
Good evening. The City of Gardner Utilities Department maintains and operates over 135 miles of water line within the City of Gardner and the water system. Also, we have 2,369 valves within that system, over 1,100 fire hydrants. These range in new valves all the way to older valves that are almost at the end of their usefulness and everything in between. The biggest impact that this will give us would reduce the stress and impact on customers when we're performing maintenance or have to shut down a water line because we have to put a new valve in versus being able to surgically insert a valve, not shut the water down. It does not harm the integrity of the existing pipe. And that is the biggest thing that we would like, the reason that we would like to have this. If you look up here or on your screen, you'll see this is a 6-inch inserted valve being done in Parma. This was last summer. And again, this is done without interruption to the service for the customers.
This is what you're proposing to buy?
Yes, sir. And the one on the right is the finished product. This one here was done out at the water plant, and it saved 1 million gallons of water from being drained that would have had to have been treated and reprocessed back in. These were subcontracted out. It's costly, but if we are able to do it ourselves, it'll save the city money in that regards. But again, I stress the fact the biggest impact would be reducing the need for shutting down multiple people for example, the first picture I showed you in Parma last summer, we would have had to shut down and had probably, I think we stopped counting at 130 homes that would have been out of water. Whereas they were able to go in and do that, no one was out of water. If you have any questions, I'd like to answer them.
Once it's installed, is it stationary?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes. When we do it, we would shut the water main down. We would take hot saws. We would cut line out, install new line with sleeves, bolts, new valve. And during that process, again, that's when all the people are out of water. You know, our customers, and we have to notify them. A lot of them, most of them are okay, but it can run into the evening, or if it's something that happens in an emergency situation. People come home in the evening, they're upset they don't have their water. The faster, the better, but we have to be safe about it. And it would eliminate a lot of that.
So what does the cost of, not the equipment that you can reuse, but is the valve that remains in the pipe, is that more expensive, or how expensive is that?
I wouldn't say it's more expensive. It depends on the size of the valve.
What's most of our water lines?
We have everything from 4-inch, in Conestoga there's even some 2-inch, all the way up to 12-inch, 18-inch.
Let's say a 6-inch line. What would a valve? This would be like to isolate services, or be able to isolate neighborhoods?
To isolate the water main in the neighborhood, yes. And when you do that, you take in consideration the houses across the street are out of water as well between those valves.
Right.
So that's where all the customers.
We don't have a redundant or a looped system on the water.
Currently, with new construction, yes.
Oh. So with the looped system, you could close 2 of these valves and isolate a few houses.
Correct, if the valves are in place, and that's the problem we run into.
That's what you're wanting to do.
Yes, sir. That's what we're
So
wanting to do.
back to my original question. So what's a 6-inch valve cost?
My guess that changes often from month to month, but
Let's say last month.
one 6-inch valve probably $400 to $500.
Okay. Is this all in your budget or not?
For buying a 6-inch valve?
Well, yes, that. And,
Yes, it is.
And the equipment, that you're
Yes.
wanting to buy, is that within your
Yes,
budget?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's in the budget.
So doing things the traditional way, you're turning people's water off, cutting the pipe and all that, how long does that typically take?
That could take anywhere from 6 to 12 hours because you never know what you're running into. We get started, then there's tree roots, and then you're replacing trees. And I mean, some of our water main is PVC, some of it's C900, some of it's ductile iron. Of course, this package would work on all of that, so that you take that into account as well. It's a lot more material than just a valve when we do it. It's a valve, sleeves, gaskets, bolts, and blocking, concrete backers, kickers. As you can see on the pictures here, we're able to excavate a hole like this, and you got some blocking, and you use the insert about package, and you don't have any of that other stuff.
What's the life expectancy of an installed valve like this one in the picture? Like, would you expect that to last 25, 30 years?
It'll last 50 or more.
How much?
50 years or more. It's rated just the same as a mechanical joint valve, which is a valve that we would install cutting in the line, as we were talking
Oh, I
about.
see gaskets and stuff that they don't deteriorate over time.
Over time, it might. Over time.
But would there be less gaskets in this instance?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Oh,
less
yes.
failure points than
Oh, yes,
traditional
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So is this for one now?
Oh no, we would have many.
All of the city ever?
Yes, ma'am.
Determined.
Yes, ma'am. For example, last January, we had a water main break on an 8-inch ductile iron line at Gardner Lake. And we had, I believe, from the golf course all the way to the dam out of water because there was no inline valve. We had to kill all of that out. And so they were all out of water. I mean,
So you've determined strategically where each one of these will be placed?
oh yeah, I can put 4 to 5 out there right away. In Parma, there'll be multiple valves. We still have a lot of work to do there. These are existing neighborhoods where the way we are doing things today, we're not done. Which goes back to your question about strategically putting valves, you know, that wasn't done back then. It's just not something they thought about. And the town has grown. There's probably a lot more houses there than when that was put in.
There's one other thing I could add is how the contractors, they have this equipment. How many, if we had this equipment, how quickly would it pay for itself because we don't have to hire these contractors to do it?
Well, those 2 valves, I believe, cost about $12,000 to have the contractors come in and do it. And
Each? Or
together. And with us, it would be less than half that.
So it pay pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Yeah, that's good.
If I may add, last year we had a fire hydrant that we had to do some maintenance, but we couldn't determine where were the isolation valves. So we were thinking that if there were a few ways of isolating the valve, but there were some valves that they showed in the map and they were not there. So if we have done and isolate several valves, if we have closed several valves to isolate the hydrant, there were quite a few people out of service. So we went ahead and used the inserter valves to add the valves so we can isolate the hydrant without impacting residents.
And for example, in this neighborhood, that's why those were done. And now that those are in place, now we can go back and isolate those and have minimum impact on the customers out of water and finish our work that we need to do up there.
do you have a program where you exercise these valves?
Oh, yes.
Annually or something?
Yes, yes, it's annual. Inline, mainline valves are maintained with our valve exercising program, as well as our fire hydrant maintenance program and the valves that are on the fire hydrant as well. Because there's a valve for a fire hydrant and then there's mainline.
That sounds like a full-time job for somebody.
It's busy. It's a busy one. And, you know, so here again, we're over there to upgrade the fire hydrants. There's old ones out there, just like you're about, you know, when they get old. But to do that, that's what Gons was talking about. We had to work on these hydrants. 128 or whatever homes were going to be out of water. We just stopped counting and said, we got to call and do this, you know. And again, I can't stress the impact difference on our customers. It's a big deal.
And this device is what you consider the best fit for Gardner?
Yes, yes, we feel
Is
so.
there anything better out there?
No, not in my opinion.
Are we
part of,
The installation of this, or?
part of this, we're always there to inspect. We've never hands-on done it, the contractors have, but part of buying this package comes with the training. They will come on site and do several valves with us and train the crew. They'll train the whole crew. That's part of the deal.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions from?
Okay, thank you.
So I'd like to entertain a motion for the purchase of a inline quick valve startup kit system.
All motion.
I'll second.
Second, we have a motion from Commissioner Augustine, second from Commissioner Coleman. I'd like to carry a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carries.
Go forth and do good work.
Thank you. We tried.
And then next, if there's no other new business, we have a discussion item, Gons, about the Home Depot response to the rebate program.
Good evening again. So we had a telephone conversation with Arthur Christensen, and they are proposing two methods for the rebate program. One is a coupon-based instant discount, which is the one I was referring, that we will provide a coupon number or the coupon to the Gardner resident, and he'll go buy, let's say, a thermostat, and then he'll get an automatic discount. Then Home Depot will go ahead and bill us the difference, and then we'll pay the difference. The other method, which is a little more time consuming, is that they will go pay for it, then we will have to refund them somehow. And there's a mail-in that we can mail in so we can get the discount. So as I mentioned before, I think my preference will be doing it on a coupon-based instant discount. I think will simplify things. They will apply that methodology to the smart thermostats and the irrigation controllers. No, they said they cannot, and they can apply that method to the thermostats and to the LEDs. The irrigation controllers and the smart power strips will be done on a downstream mailing support. Then I had a conversation with Ace Hardware. They can set up an account, and they will also can do a coupon-based instant discount. And then they will pay, the city will pay the difference through an invoice.
And ICE will bill the city also.
Yep. Now, before I go into, Home Depot can help us identify what items can we provide or as part of the rebate program. Ace Hardware, they want us or myself to go and look in the catalog and identify what items that we can promote so people can buy them. So before I start developing a way of doing all of this, I would like to present on the next meeting a formal proposal recommending using Home Depot and Ace Hardware for the rebate program. Then I would like to determine how much will be set in the budget for these items. I was thinking originally 25,000 for electric and 5,000 for water. We can go a little higher, but I like to get a buy-in from city council before doing all the work. So I'd like to bring that on the next meeting, so you can make a recommendation.
Have you talked to other utilities and see what their experience, or, I mean, do we have some kind of a model that we think that if we spend X dollars, it will return over time some money back to us?
I have not spoke with them personally, but I seen their programs on the through the web pages. But like I presented before, usually on the bulbs they rebate anywhere between $2 to $5 per bulb. On the thermostats, they go up as high as $150, depending on the price of the thermostat. On the irrigation, they go up to $100 max. And on the power strips, I think it was like $10, $20.
How much?
$10, $20. That was presented 2 meetings ago. So what I'd like to do is put this information together and do a formal presentation to you on June, so we can, if so, you can approve it and recommend that to the city council.
I'm very excited about this project. I think it'll be very beneficial for all the residents, and I'm glad Ace Hardware is also involved in it too. Would there, if any other business wanted to be involved, would you entertain their bids or proposals as well?
I will have to, yeah, I mean, as long as they're willing to share the actual market with somebody else. Gardner is not that big, so if we have too many, I don't think, if we have too many vendors, it seems to me that at some point it will make it too cumbersome or profitable for the vendors.
I was wondering, it said in this memo that you got this email that they would advertise in the store. This would be just limited to Gardner residents.
Yes, yes. We will have to make the stickers, and we have to go and tell them where to put them. So we will have to do that. It says here,
So each person would have to.
no, we will have to
code
go
with-
and identify, here is, similar to about, you will be able to place signage in the stores to bring awareness to the program. But you will ultimately be responsible for processing any applications and providing incentives directly to the customer.
Okay, so we would distribute the coupons. They wouldn't necessarily be available to someone from Olathe.
This is the downstream mailing support. If you go with the coupon-based instant discount, they will handle the whole thing.
But they'll make sure it's a Gardner resident.
Yep.
Okay.
So the way it would work, the way I envision is, let's say you want to buy a thermostat, you will come to utilities, and we will give you a coupon. And then we'll put you in the list that you're going to purchase let's say a thermostat. So we know who's going to get.
So they come here or they come to the store?
They will come, they have to go to utilities.
Okay.
We have to give them the
Okay.
coupons. So we need to get involved somehow,
Yeah.
so we can control who's coming and.
I would think you wouldn't need a store sign. We'd be better off putting inserts into the utility bills and sending out, like you've been doing on the new metering, those kind of email blasts to the residents. Because I'm sure the store in Olathe, 90% of the people who go in there probably aren't from Gardner.
So it will take some kind of campaign promotion from us.
Right.
And then I'll set up the process, and like I said, we'd like to start it like a pilot program and see how it works before we going big.
Do you want to start with one item, or do you want to do it all at one time?
Well, Ace Hardware Store, they don't sell irrigation controllers. So Home Depot said that they cannot apply the instant discount to this item. So I would like to start with LEDs and thermostats.
What was the dollar amount you were thinking you wanted to start with?
For
LEDs and thermostats?
as far as having a fund available for it?
Yeah.
25,000.
And would we have a way to track those residents that took advantage of that and see what happened if it in fact did impact their usage?
With the smart meters, we can do that, but I mean, we can do a lot of things with the smart meters. But I don't want to be. Let's say we have 1,000 residents. It'll take a lot of time. It'll be time consuming to check every single house to see.
Well, I just wondered if did we have an internal way of seeing whether this actually made an impact? Did they buy them, install them, and use them, and reduce their energy usage or water usage? I mean, I bought them. It reduced mine, but I'm more nervous about utility costs than the average guy probably.
Yeah, but if somebody's gonna buy the LEDs, I suppose they're gonna install it and use them. So they should see a reduction.
You can always do a survey after so long.
And we can, we can do that. We can pick a few residents and see how are they doing with their energy consumption, especially if they buy a smart thermostat.
I would recommend that we publicize this as a 1-year window of opportunity to do that. And then if it is used, then it can be extended indefinitely.
I think we talked about, well, we kind of talked about what, going maybe through the end of the year, talked about a year. I think the amounts that you are suggesting, is 25 and 5,
Mm-hmm.
seems reasonable enough for a trial run.
There's 25 for the thermostat.
25 for the electric and 5,000 for water. If we can get some kind of coupon-based instant discount with Home Depot,
Yeah.
which at this point, when they send the email, said they were not sure they can do that.
Well, as long as we can get it in the next budget, that's what you're trying to do, right?
Well, the next budget is 2022.
Oh.
So we will have to do a adjustment to the existing budget.
Okay.
That's why I like to get these in front of City Council to get their approval before going any further.
Could this be done through contractors? Some people they would be comfortable wiring this stuff. Have you considered making this available through a contractor some way? Because some people would be not comfortable wiring the thermostat or the water irrigation.
Yeah, but they can hire a electrician to do it, or a plumber. I could do it, but
Basically, they'd go to buy the thermostat, the electrician comes and installs what they have, rather than buying the thermostat through an electrician,
Well,
right?
so if you're gonna hire an electrician, how would you go buy the thermostat and say, I just want you to hook it up?
if we go with what Commissioner Williams is talking, then we'll have to open the contractor. We have to have a list of contractors that we cannot go and single out one, so it has to be open to
You have to have a list of people who
qualified, and then we have to negotiate with them how much are they gonna discount, and I think it'll be a little more complicated.
Well, you could use the same discount coupon or code that the resident would give to the contractor, and they would reduce their bill by that much, or
But I think you're adding a lot
a layer of
of steps.
bureaucracy.
You know,
Okay.
layer of bureaucracy is a great way to put it. Maybe that's a great idea for future state if this works and we're expanding into other things. Or, we just wanna take it to the next level for convenience. But I think for a trial run, let's keep it to ACE and Home Depot, keep it as simple as possible.
Okay,
And
I'm
let
with it.
the POC, prove itself.
I'm sure the first people to jump on this, they'll be the ones more comfortable going to Home Depot and buying it anyways.
I mean, if I can install a thermostat, so can anyone.
Well, I know that, you know that, but they may not know that.
You can install a thermostat. Now they know.
Okay.
So I'll bring a formal proposal next meeting so you can approve a recommendation to City Council.
Okay, so you guys are good with the amounts that you suggested. Let's talk about time frame.
Talk about what?
Time frame,
Oh,
how long do we wanna run it? What were you thinking?
I think Commissioner Wells said till the end of 2021. That'll only give us like 5-6 months to do it.
And that seems reasonable to me. But you had mentioned a year, so I didn't.
no, I just meant through the end of this year's,
Okay.
or a year.
Got it.
I'm not hung up on,
Through the end of 21.
yeah,
Let's
that's,
run with that.
and if there's great demand,
We can accept it.
longer, that way you don't have to kill the program, it's already got a sunset. If you have it like by the last day of the year, and then if it's really being used and it's popular, we extend it.
Sure.
So you want to do it through the end of 2021?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any issue with that?
No, that's fine. Then we can see the response, and then we can make a final decision how to proceed. So that's all I have regarding the rebate program. Any other questions?
Moving on to other business.
Yeah, I think so. So, is there any other business that needs to be brought before the commission?
I always have questions. How are the smart meters going?
Electric are 100% done.
Cool.
As of last Friday, water was 30%. So we're expecting to be done with water by the end of August, if not before.
Now, just for my own curiosity, weren't we keeping the meters in the old police stations and everything? Were they
The old-
there for a while?
The old meters, we had the smart meters at the police station.
Okay.
So before the demolition, I had to transfer. Before the demolition, I will say 99% of the electric meters were installed. So we had to deal only with the water. So the water were moved to the garage we have at the utilities admin building. So we're using the car garage for storing the meters
Gotcha.
until we're done.
I was wondering where they went to, so, all Right.
Now, the old ones are being sold to a contractor. They're paying us $1 per meter, old meter. Then the bigger ones have a higher price, $10, $12. So I expect to recuperate about maybe $10,000 for those meters.
Better than nothing.
Yep.
All right. So I saw, and I don't remember exactly what it is, and I should be able to speak to it better than what I can. But a lot of posts on Facebook about a solar farm coming in the area potentially. And I know there are residents that have solar on their house, so I was curious if Gardner has a official program with solar, or how that works for residents that are interested in having solar on their roof.
Back in 2010, the city implemented we call it a renewable resource parallel interconnection, in which a resident or a commercial business can install solar or a wind turbine. So we have a process for residents who wants to install solar panels in their home. Today we have about 18 solar panels and 1 wind turbine. Over the past 4 years, we installed over 10 solar panels. Well, the city has an additional 10 solar panels. So I think there's more interest by the public to put solar panels. But that's only 18 out of 9,000 customers, so
Sure.
it's pretty
Right.
small.
It's not prevalent. I just personally know of one, and I know there's a few more. But is there any kind of rebate or incentive for a customer to install either of those things?
No.
No? Okay. And I assume it's all set up so that whatever energy they're producing is feeding into the grid, and their credits go down and then up, and it calculates and fluctuates.
The way it's calculated, we don't credit the energy, but we credit, for example, if they consume if they consume, let's say, 100 kilowatts, they multiply that times the rate, let's say, that'll be kilowatts will be 10 cents. So that's about $10. So you have $10 in consumption. If they generated, let's say 100, they only get paid 6.45 cents. So there is a gap. So multiply that times 100, that's about $6. So 10 minus the $6, they have to pay $4. So it's not net metering, but it's done through the actual cost, not the actual energy.
So you pay them wholesale prices then, essentially.
What was that?
You're paying wholesale prices.
Correct.
Yeah.
So there's no way to just avoid energy cost. You can't.
You would have to install a bigger solar system. So we pay 150% of our wholesale cost for energy. So our energy price is about 4.5 cents. So we are paying 150% of that. So it's about 6.45. So this is not a one-to-one. And
So the
that's
payback would be pretty long then.
probably say more than 10 years in my estimate. unless we get into some kind of agreement with them. But I heard about West Gardner's solar farm, but that's all I know.
Oh, okay.
They have not approached the city if we want to be partners with them or not.
Okay, so that would be part of them getting the plan together, would be to approach the cities?
They were trying to get cities to participate in that endeavor. But so far, I have not heard anything from them.
When you say participate, you mean fund part of the cost?
Or make a PPA. That means that we will purchase the power from them at a set price.
Which would benefit the city then?
If the price is right, yeah.
Yeah.
So did we not commission a study for Gardner to see the feasibility of a solar farm?
We did, and that was presented back in December of last year.
Say that again?
I did, or we did, and that report was presented to the commission back in December of last year, November or December of 2020.
Yeah.
I can provide you a copy of the report. But what the study, it all depends, the study said that we can build our own solar facility, and it will cost, if you estimate a 25-year life expectancy, it will cost the city about $25 per megawatt hour. Most cities buying solar, they're paying about $50 to $59.
Okay, so ours is too cheap to have a decent payback, right?
No, I'm saying it will cost us $25 versus $55. I mean, we can generate the electricity a lot cheaper than we can buy it.
Okay.
But I'm happy to send you that report. It's a couple of pages and a PowerPoint presentation.
I wouldn't mind if you send it to me. I believe I missed that meeting. I'm sure I still
Yeah.
have it in an email archive. I was here last year. I missed.
Yeah, I think Commissioner Williams and Augustine missed that meeting.
Yeah, it was a smaller group. I remember when we had it. Yeah.
There were only 3 commissioners.
Could we all get a copy again?
Sure, I'll send you the PowerPoint and the staff report.
Thank you. And lastly, I think we talked about it a year ago, pretty much just for anyone that's listening. The weather is warming up, you're gonna be filling up your pools. There is, I assume the meter is still available to hook up to the fire hydrant?
They are available, yep.
Meter is available, hook up to the fire hydrant, then you connect your garden hose to it. And it potentially could save you money on filling your pool, depending on how much you're filling up anyway. I don't remember what the set breakdown was on the water per gallon, but
It's a lot less than regular rate.
yeah. I think that's everything I want to talk about.
Okay?
I have a question. Has there been any definite recovery on the amounts that were paid out during the energy crisis?
I don't have the numbers. I can get them from utility billing, and I can present that next time. We're saying,
Any recovery that you're getting from the amount that you were billed?
I don't have that information. But it's about 2.8 cents we're getting in addition per kilowatt hour.
That you're recovering? Oh, well, that's good. Okay. So you'll have it next time?
Or I can send you an email if I get it before then.
Okay.
Well, if there's anything else.
I think I do have a
Okay,
question.
yeah.
You said the Hillsdale water treatment plant was gonna be done by the end of May. Is that still on?
they're doing the system startups now. So the original plan was to have substantial completion by the end of May. I think that may slide maybe a week or two, so maybe early June. But we'll have water before the summer. We'll have additional water before the summer.
Well, if that's all, can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Coleman, second from Commissioner Augustine. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
I think we're supposed to vote.
Oh, do we need a vote? That's right. Okay. Aye.
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 I'll say aye. Great.
What's your name?